Hello, and welcome to Quiet Time with Michael Craven. Today, I want to talk to you about Chinese ATVs. Are they worth it? Well, bottom line is, let me show you. This is what your garage is going to look like if you have Chinese ATVs. You are going to need a lot of tools, and you are going to require a lot of work to first assemble them, because they do not come assembled, and to finally maintain them. Let me show you some of the issues you're going to encounter with a Chinese ATV. In this case, it's a Vitacci Pentora UT 250cc ATV. Here, your first thing is you will have to install footwells, the plastic footwells in here. And when you install the footwells, you will run into problems like this. See here? I had to modify the plastic footwell so the gear shift can switch gears. And on the other side, I had to modify the footwell here and cut out a whole section so the rear brake can work. Other things with these Chinese ATVs are that don't expect any bolt is going to hold, because they don't use Loctite on any bolt. Also, another thing with these Chinese ATVs, don't expect any bolt is going to hold tight without putting some Loctite on it, because none of these bolts have Loctite, and everything at some point is going to come loose, usually within an hour or two of riding it. Testament to that is, let me show you another thing here. The rear brake caliper is on a black bracket here, held in by one small bolt. Well, that bolt came loose, and we ended up with no bracket and no rear brake. The rear brake caliper is tied off up here so it's out of the way so the ATV can still be utilized. But to replace that bracket, which I am having a hard time getting because of availability of the parts, requires the whole axle to get taken apart to slip on this bracket past the disc brake. Overall, to assemble one of these ATVs takes about 6 to 8 hours of time and frustration. And is it worth it? Well, you tell me. These ATVs run about $2,000 a piece compared to a comparable Yamaha or Honda for about $8,000. So what is your time worth? And are you mechanically inclined? Because if you're not, forget it. These are definitely out of the question for you. You have to install the wheels. That's easy enough. You have to install the footwells, the seat, the battery, which is almost impossible to fit in there. You have to install the disc brake and tie rods. And that's another thing, speaking of the tie rods. Within a few hours, the toe-in on this ATV was majorly messed up, causing major funky tire wear. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but the treads on the one side are almost flat after only about 10 hours of riding. Also, fit and finish is very bad on these Chinese ATVs. This ATV came new just like this. The plastic doesn't even fit in with these clips to get them in place. Also, this front carriage that mounts to the front bumper, that also has to be mounted by you, has holes here and here to put bolts to keep it from rattling and hold it steady. Well, those bolt holes don't line up. I had to figure out and drill 2 holes here and here. Of course, this hole was stripped in the bumper already from the factory, so I had to put a bolt and nut on it instead of just a screw-in threaded bolt to hold the front carriage on. And you can see more fit and finish here from the factory, things rubbed, ruining the what looks like a nice paint job here. And the front carriage, which comes partially assembled but not bolted down, has rubbed here and over here on the paint job. And again, you can see here the fit and finish. There's no way to get this plastic together. So remember, the most important thing about these ATVs is to use Loctite on every bolt you put on it. And any bolts that you think might be important, you will want to loosen up, put Loctite on, and retighten them before you even ride it the least little bit. So overall, my impression of Chinese ATVs, not so hot. And unless you've got a lot of time and low on cash, I would not recommend them. And that's my honest review for today. And remember to like and subscribe to this video and my channel. You won't regret it.